If you've ever walked into a supplement aisle and thought, I have no idea where to start, this video is for you. In 2026, getting supplements right is less about buying more and more about buying smarter. So let's break things down step by step. Let's start with the mindset you need in 2026, because this alone will save you time, money, and frustration. Supplements are not the foundation of your health. Food, sleep, movement, and stress management are. Supplements come after that, and only when there's a clear gap, a symptom pattern, or a lab-confirmed need. In my opinion, the biggest beginner mistake is treating supplements like insurance instead of tools. The goal is not to take a lot of pills. The goal is to take as little as possible, but as much as needed. Before you buy anything, you need clarity on your goal. Supplements only work when they are aligned with a specific outcome. Pick one primary goal and at most one secondary goal. That's it. More than that, and you're setting yourself up for supplement overload. Common goals look like this: better energy, better sleep and stress control, muscle, strength and joint support, heart and metabolic health, focus and mental performance, or hair, skin, and nails. Once you've chosen your goal, here's the simple decision process I want you to follow. First, ask yourself if diet, sleep, training, or lifestyle could realistically fix most of this. A lot of the time, the answer is yes. If you're sleeping 5 hours, no supplement will save your energy. Second, check medications and conditions. This matters more than people think. Some supplements interact with meds or are inappropriate for certain health conditions. Third, consider labs if relevant. Fourth, choose 0 to 2 targeted supplements that match your goal. Not 5, not 10. Then you trial them for 6 to 8 weeks. You reassess honestly, and you either keep them or drop them. That's the entire system. Now let's talk safety, because beginners really need this part. If you take thyroid medication, minerals like calcium, iron, magnesium, and zinc should be taken several hours away from your meds. Taking them together can reduce absorption. Antibiotics often bind to minerals too, which means spacing them apart matters. If you're on anticoagulants, vitamin K supplementation should always be discussed with a clinician first. If you're taking SSRIs, stimulants, or already consume a lot of caffeine, stacking high caffeine supplements can increase anxiety, sleep issues, and heart symptoms. Pregnancy and breastfeeding change supplement needs completely. Kidney and liver disease also change what's safe. Diabetes medications can interact with supplements that affect blood sugar. When in doubt, check with a clinician. That's not being overly cautious, that's being smart. Now let's make label reading simple, because marketing is where beginners get fooled. First, always look at the serving size. One capsule might not equal one serving. Some labels hide doses this way. Second, understand that the percent daily value is not the same as an evidence-based dose. It's a reference number, not a performance guarantee. Third, look for third-party testing. Names like USP, NSF, Informed Choice, and IFOS for fish oil matter. A certificate of analysis, or COA, is a good sign of transparency. Forms matter too. Vitamin D3 is preferred over D2. Methyl B12 is often better absorbed than cyanocobalamin, especially for some people. Methylfolate versus folic acid should be individualized if advised. Magnesium glycinate or citrate is usually better tolerated than oxide. Zinc should be chelated. Omega-3s can come from fish oil or algae-based DHA and EPA. Now, what should beginners avoid? Avoid proprietary blends that hide doses. Avoid multi-stimulant fat burners. Avoid sketchy testosterone boosters. Avoid megadose fat-soluble vitamins. Avoid adrenal or organ glandulars. Avoid DMAA, DMHA, yohimbine stacks. If the product promises extreme results fast, that's your cue to walk away. Now let's talk minimalist starter stacks. And remember, you only pick what fits your goal. For general health, start with food first. Eat fish 2 to 3 times per week if you can. Consider vitamin D3 only based on labs or low sun exposure. Magnesium glycinate at night can help if your diet is low. B12 is important for vegans. Fiber should come from foods first, or psyllium if needed. For sleep and stress, fix sleep hygiene first. Morning light, caffeine cutoff, consistent bedtime. Then consider magnesium glycinate or glycine. Low-dose melatonin can be useful short-term for jet lag, not as a nightly crutch. For muscle and fitness, prioritize protein from food. Creatine monohydrate at 3 to 5 grams daily is one of the most researched supplements we have. Vitamin D3 if low. Electrolytes can help if you sweat heavily. For heart and metabolic health, omega-3s from fish or verified soft gels are useful. Soluble fiber from foods or psyllium can help cholesterol and blood sugar. Vitamin D again depends on labs. For hair, skin, and nails, food first protein matters more than anything. Iron and ferritin should always be checked before supplementing. supplementing. Zinc only if low. Avoid high-dose biotin shotgun approaches. For vegans and vegetarians, B12 is non-negotiable. Algae-based DHA and EPA are important. Iodine should come from iodized salt or foods. Iron only with labs. Zinc and vitamin D depend on diet and testing. Let's talk dosing and timing so these actually work. Fat-soluble vitamins should be taken with meals that contain fat. Minerals often do better split into smaller doses. Iron should be taken away from coffee, tea, dairy, and thyroid meds. Caffeine should be capped at a level that doesn't hurt sleep or anxiety. Store supplements properly. Fish oil goes rancid if stored poorly. Freshness matters. Now let's talk budget, because this doesn't need to be expensive. At the free level, focus on grocery upgrades and habit fixes. Better protein, better produce, better sleep. At the basic level, add 1 to 2 targeted supplements with third-party testing. At the plus level, add creatine or omega-3s if aligned with your goal. Do not collect bottles just to feel productive. If you're shopping, stick to a few vetted categories. Vitamin D3 with a clear dose and testing seal. Magnesium glycinate with elemental magnesium listed. Omega-3s with EPA and DHA amounts clearly shown. Creatine monohydrate with no additives. Fiber supplements that list grams per serving. Red flags include proprietary blends, miracle language, detox, boosts hormones instantly, or doctor secret. Tracking matters more than people realize. Each week, log energy, sleep quality, workouts, bowel regularity, cravings, resting heart rate, and waist measurement. If you're already working with a clinician, optional labs to discuss include vitamin D, ferritin, and iron studies, B12 with MMA, lipids, A1C, thyroid panel, and sometimes magnesium. If you see no benefit by 6 to 8 weeks, stop. If you notice side effects, stop. If a better food strategy emerges, switch. Supplements are optional, not permanent. Tiny lifestyle anchors make supplements work better. Anchor protein at meals. Walk daily or do zone 2 cardio. Lift weights twice per week. Get morning light. Keep a consistent bedtime. Hydrate and use electrolytes on sweaty days. Here's a simple 7-day beginner kickoff. Day 1, pick one primary goal, clean out the cabinet, and list medications and conditions. Day 2, switch to iodized salt if appropriate and set a caffeine cutoff time. Day 3, upgrade groceries with protein, produce, fiber staples, and olive oil. Day 4, choose 0 to 2 supplements that fit your goal and verify third-party testing. Day 5, set dosing and timing reminders and split minerals correctly. Day 6, start a simple tracker for energy, sleep, workouts, and bowel regularity. Day 7, plan labs with a clinician if relevant, and pre-schedule a 6-week check-in. Over the next 30 days, add 1 habit per week. Keep the supplement list short. Evaluate benefits and side effects honestly. Adjust the diet first. At 60 to 90 days, drop what didn't help, keep what did. Retest labs if you started with a deficiency, and actively prevent supplement creep. And that's it. I have also made a video on how to take care of your health overall in 2026, especially if you are older. Watch this next.